The fall is coming, I can feel it. The breeze brings goosebumps to my skin. Tonight the whiskey feels stronger. Gasoline on hidden desires. So I'll throw.
Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Allie. If you're not, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you can't tell, it is officially fall. You know, here in Tennessee, the leaves are changing finally. It's really cool in the mornings and in the evenings. And because of that, I decided to make a pumpkin spice latte. Don't make fun of me. And I'm wearing my flannel and I've got my fuzzy Ugg boots on. So as you can see in the title, today we're making cinnamon apple monkey bread. It's super simple, very easy, and comes together really quick. My husband's behind the camera rubbing his belly because it was so good. It's just using a few simple pantry items, you know, sugar and cinnamon. We've got some apples and some pre-made biscuit dough. Didn't say it was the healthiest, but it is really delicious and it definitely makes you feel like fall is officially here. All right, so let's jump on in. Okay, everybody, I've got my ingredients here all laid out. So I've got my biscuit dough. I just have, you know, your basic Grand's home style biscuits. I don't use the flaky ones. I don't use cinnamon rolls, but I bet that would actually be really good too. I'm going to use a couple apples. We're going to do a stick of butter, a third of a cup of white sugar, half a cup of lightly packed brown sugar, probably a tablespoon of cinnamon, and I've got some powdered sugar over here to make the frosting. And I've got my oven over here preheating to 350. Okay, so first off, we are going to melt a stick of butter. I'm gonna pop that in the microwave for a second. I'll be right back. All right, so we've got our melted butter in our bowl. Now we're gonna add our sugars and all the other goodies. In goes our brown sugar, our white sugar, and a good helping of cinnamon. I also just like to add a little pinch of salt, just to balance out the flavors and bring out all the yummy sugar and cinnamon into the dish. I'm just gonna stir this all up. If anyone's curious, the inspiration behind this recipe was literally just what I had in the pantry, and if you've ever made the viral TikTok cinnamon rolls, this is definitely inspired by that recipe. Okay, and so now we are gonna go ahead and cut up our biscuit dough and toss it all together in this bowl. Just FYI, your mixture should look something like this. Okay, so this part, it scares me every single time. I don't know if there's anybody out there that hates popping cinnamon or biscuit dough like I do. But you know how you're supposed to pop it along the seam? I absolutely hate doing this. It just freaks me out. I don't know why. Okay. Whew. All right. Okay, so this part is fairly simple. You're just gonna take your biscuit and you're gonna take some kitchen shears, or if you need to use a knife, if you don't have one, that's fine. But you have it cut in half like this. You're gonna take one and you're just gonna cut it into a fourth like that and into the bowl. Okay, I'm gonna go do all these and speed it up for you. All right, we've got all of our biscuits. I'm just gonna give this a quick mix. Really lightly. I don't want to smush my precious little biscuit chunks, but I just want it all to get incorporated just a little bit before we add in the apples. So I'm just gonna mix this up all super fast. All right, y'all, I've got a couple Granny Smith apples. They're perfect for baking apple pie, apple crisp, apple crumble, all those good yummy things. I actually have an apple pie recipe on my channel that I posted last year that I can go ahead and link. It is so delicious. It is Grandma Blank's beautiful apple pie. She made fabulous pies, and my sweet friend Katie's mom, Shelly, taught me how to bake it. And if you'd like to know how to make apple pie and a delicious pie crust every time, go ahead and check it out. All right, so I've got both of my apples cut. I'm just gonna slice them and chop them into little cubes real quick, and we'll mix it in with our biscuit dough. This is about the size you want your apples. Not too small, but you want them small enough to be bite-sized and so that they cook evenly throughout our biscuit mixture. So I'm just gonna sprinkle them on into the dough, batter, whatever you want to call it, mixture, and I'll chop the rest of these up real quick. Okay, so this is a total side note, but this is just how my mind works. If any of you guys watch the Kardashians on Hulu, or have at least seen the meme of Kendall Kardashian chopping cucumbers at her mom's house, oh my God, when I saw that, I was like, good Lord, child, who hurt you? Who taught you to cut like that? She was literally, what was she doing? She was like cutting, I don't even know. I'm like gonna cut myself. I don't know, but it was like, she had her knife like that, and it was painful to watch. Anyways, I just thought that was so funny. Let me know if you've seen that, because I'm like, girl, who taught you to chop that way? That is, you're gonna cut yourself bad. And of course they had their chef help her out, or she didn't want to, or something. I don't remember, but just funny. I will say my husband, sometimes when I'm cutting into something really hard like squash or watermelon or something with a really tough skin and I can't cut through it, he gets really nervous because he's afraid that I'm going to cut myself. But anyways, I am just about done. Sorry, I know this part is just so exciting. Okay, last little bit. And now we can just add the rest of these apples and we can mix it in. So this is going to be a little tricky. Definitely recommend chopping up your apples before, so that your butter doesn't start setting in with your biscuit dough. But no big deal. We're just gonna make sure they all get covered in that delicious cinnamon mixture, that they're all evenly distributed throughout our biscuits, so we don't just have clumps of biscuits and no clumps of apples in there. It already smells so good. Also, feel free to break up the biscuit so that you can allow some of the apples to kind of slide in there. Just try not to smush them too much. I know it's kind of hard not to, but if you can help it, try to be gentle on the actual biscuits so they can stay all fluffy while we're baking. Okay, I think this is looking pretty well mixed. Making sure to get all the goodies at the bottom of the bowl. All right. This is our mixture now. I'm gonna grab my buttered loaf pan and we're just gonna dump this deliciousness in there. Okay, I've got my buttered loaf pan. You can use like a cooking spray, Pam or whatever, but I like the good stuff. I love me some butter, and we're already got a ton of butter in the mixture as it is, so I just thought, you know what, let's just use butter all the way. So just dump this guy on in there. Make sure that you have a dish that is deep enough and has enough of a lip around the edges, because your biscuits will puff up. And the first time I ever made this, I thought about that, but not enough to use a dish that was deep enough. It was a pretty shallow baking dish that I was using. And it was still fine, but it did, forewarning, overflow into my oven surface, and it was kind of smoking up the house. My husband was kind of like, what are you making that is smoking? So, fair warning, just make sure that your dish has enough of a high lip. Anyways, this is what we've got. As you can see, I've got like about an inch of space here on the sides for it all to puff up. And oven is preset to 350. We're gonna let it cook up. I'm gonna put some foil on it. Hang on. Okay, foil is going on. This step is crucial. I also made this mistake before, so you don't have to do it. I did not put foil on my monkey bread. Didn't really think it through, but because it is such a thick layer of biscuit dough, you want to make sure that all of it is cooking through evenly. And by putting foil on the top of it, the top layer doesn't cook first and then burn before the inside and the very middle get cooked. So just make sure that you do this part. Okay, I tried to like puff up the aluminum foil a little bit just to allow it to have some space to puff up in the oven. And in about 15 minutes, we're gonna check on it. My oven is set at 350. And if it looks like it's doing well, we'll take off the tin foil and allow it to brown on the top. But if not, we'll wait a little longer. But all right, let's pop it in the oven. Okay, so now that our biscuit mixture is in the oven, we are going to make our icing. This is so delicious. It definitely sends it over the top. You don't have to make it, but if you like cinnamon rolls with a yummy icing or glaze, highly recommend. So I've got a tablespoon of regular confectioner's powdered sugar. I'm gonna pop it into the sifter, and this just helps leave all the lumps out. And I think I'm actually gonna do probably 3 tablespoons. We'll just see. It depends on how much you need, how much you want. Just gonna sift it, and then we're gonna add some milk. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes, and this is what we're looking like. It's looking really good, but I'm gonna leave this on because this is still super raw. I'm just gonna leave it loosely so that it has a little bit of ventilation, but we're gonna put this back in for another 15 minutes, and by that point, we should be good to take off the aluminum foil and let it cook for a final 10 to 15 minutes. So about 40 to 45 minutes total, depending on your oven. At 350, I would say, is the total baking time. I took off the aluminum foil. She is bubbling, and those freaking biscuits are popping off, girl. And it smells so delicious in here. So we'll let that cook for a bit more. It'll get nice and yummy and brown. Look at this beauty. Oh my gosh. It smells insane in here. Smells like fall, y'all. So I took this out of the oven and I let it sit with the foil on for just 10 minutes as it cooled. If for some reason yours isn't fully baked, no big deal. Just leave it in the oven with the foil on so it doesn't burn, but you just cook it until you feel that it's done. I poked it with a skewer just to make sure that it was good inside, but like, oh my God. In case you're not familiar with monkey bread, oh my God, this looks so delicious. If you can just see all the ooey gooey cinnamon yumminess with all the butter. This is what was on the bottom, and when you flip it over as you serve it, I'm so excited. And we got our icing. Y'all, I am so excited for this. Okay, let's drizzle on the icing. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Not very ambidextrous, but let's see. Oh my. If that doesn't scream fall breakfast, I really don't know what does. And honestly, this would be such a delicious dessert. Wow. Okay, I had to get in here and do a taste test real quick before I let Hunter try it. Oh my God. You guys, I mean, and it's so easy. Oh, I really hope you guys like it. Let's take some to Hunter real quick. Okay, I took a bite because I couldn't wait, but I want to know what you think.
Oh, good. The dog followed you up here. You want some too? Pretty good.
Pretty good? You like it?
Yeah, you can leave it.
Well, there you have it, folks. Delicious. I'm gonna finish this. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click that like button and click subscribe to keep up with more videos as I post them. I will be sure to put the recipe in the description box below. Let me know if you like this, and I hope you guys enjoy. Happy fall, y'all. Really? What? I told you I was gonna finish the video.